Hey everybody, it's Bus with Battles with Bus number 609. Today we'll be doing battle with the Pyromancer and Backpack Battles. And so, continuing on the old Pyromancer week, doing our second set of Backpack Battles with the Offering Bowl. Let's hit that new ranked button, jump on in, see if RN Jesus blesses us with something neat today. And so, not a bad start. Look at all this on sale stuff. This is going to be a big economy round here in the beginning, hitting the pocket sand, the onion, and the whetstone, all going to be going into the offering bowl. It's not anything I really want to be keeping going into the later rounds. Also interested in the healing herbs. I think it's very easy to jump into these games with the pyromancer and just kind of forget that you have to get some defensive stuff. You just naturally get a bunch of defense with the other bag when you just buy the flames and buy the piggy banks, but you don't get any of that with the offering bowl. And so very easy to forget that that's a thing. A bit of a bummer here. We are weak in the sense that we only have the dagger for this starting round, but I don't think we can complain when we kick things off with 6 on sale items. And so we'll make the most of what we can here. So I do want to come in and sell off a bunch of this stuff. I think I would prefer to sell off the shiny shell as opposed to the pocket sand, but maybe we do find a preferable way to use this shiny shell if we want to try and upgrade a short sword on the next round. We would need to do it that way. Otherwise, not getting rid of the healing herbs, that's definitely going to stay. I want to get this piggy bank into the bag. I think that's fine. That's a decent enough start. This way, we probably want to get the bonus off of the whetstone. I worry that we just immediately lose the round if we don't give a little bit of there. Okay, all right, good start. See if the magical mystery bowl gives us something to to build around here at the beginning of the game. Probably going to lose this round. We are going to suffer against the scaling poison coming out of the opponent here. As soon as we hit fatigue, they're just going to start annihilating us. 7 poison buildup. Womp womp. It's the downside to only starting with 1 weapon. So what do we got here? Not a terrible set of items, but nothing to really build around. You can't complain too much about picking up a stamina sack at the beginning, but it's nothing that really aligns us towards any specific builds. And so let's at least do this. I'm going to take the flame. I'm going to take the dagger. Maybe we get some kind of dagger thing going here in the beginning. And I'm going to just take a roll now. We already have 4 bag space that we're not using. And we're going to soak up a bit of bag space as well if we spread out the burning coals and upgrade one of the daggers. And so I don't want to be picking up a bag at this stage because it's not really going to do anything. And now we get an on-sale wooden sword. And so I think I'm okay with that. I am typically not really interested in going for like dagger-based builds, but maybe we see how this plays itself out. Starting things off here with double daggers, maybe we do try and land on a hammer build of some sort. Always hate them so much. It's gonna devolve into a video of me bitching for a half hour if that's where it goes. But you know that's where you think life would take you when you do start with 2 daggers out here. Now, if you missed the previous video, didn't catch how we explained how this bag works, you can see that it was actually messed up for us there. We just locked the bag in the back so that the items on top will actually come in and upgrade themselves. You can manipulate what's happening, what gets offered into the offering bowl, what gets removed and upgraded into the different items by either locking the bowl. You can see us trying to show that on screen right now, or locking the individual items themselves. And so with this round, I didn't realize you could do that after the round. Huh. Is that how that actually works? As long as we're on the final round here, we can kind of come in and manipulate these things? I thought it was just always you had to be good enough to hit it during the battle, but that's interesting if it'll let you manipulate that at the end, because I am horrible about messing some of these things up. Cool. Let's see how that looks. Everything combines right at the beginning of the round. I dig it. I like it. I love it. So, what do we have here? We have our friend the hammer. I guess we can start out with this. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these hammer builds. They just seem so super RNG or RNG centric to me that I don't think that they really work that often. I don't even really want it now that we've got the shell totem. I think we're just gonna have to take the shell totem and pull it out of the bag for the moment. But let's at least hang on to it for a moment here. Like, I think that we can go a round or two with the hammer and then just look to sell it a little bit later. And so I think we want to come in and pick it up. Like, we could pick up the whetstone here. It's like maybe this is a somewhat viable strategy in the sense that, you know, we just kind of build up what's in the bowl so we get one big round, as opposed to just trying to sell a whetstone and the next round sell 6 gold of stuff. Maybe this is a nice way to come in and actually build up. Like, you know, this is 12 gold of stuff in here right now, and then just have that upgrade into one big item later. Maybe we do just go ahead and go for this now. Like, it's unfortunate trying to have this space where we have an additional weapon with the hammer, right? If we come in and put the shell totem in now, like we're just, our stamina's gonna be so fucked. But I mean, maybe this is okay, right? I don't want to hang on to the hammer for too long, but I would really like it if it, you know, converted into a lightsaber, converted into a thorn whip, something that just gives us a bit of direction for the remainder of the round. So we've gotten a couple of hits in there. I know we got at least one hammer hit in. Don't really suspect we'll get too many more. Just blasted him right at the end. Thank you, thank you, RNGesus. I approve when it goes well for us. So what do we got here? A Shield of Valor. I do really like having Shield of Valors within these builds. It feels a little early for it, but we can make it work, especially having it like hit it this early along with a leather armor. We can definitely look into to just go for like a really big high armor style build this round, like maybe look towards dragons if we're not going to be super weapon centric in what we bring. A little bit interesting there. Otherwise, I'm not the hugest fans of seeing us go after sun armors, like just going full bore into the Holy Fest with the sun armor and the sun shield and all that stuff. It's not really my thing, and so I don't think we want to go that route. I haven't tried to do this using a frostbite with these armor things. Like, I do like frostbites. The frost builds are strong, but it's not what I'd want to be doing with armor, right? The thing that frostbite kind of ties into is going to be the vampiric stuff, and vampiric doesn't really combo with armor, right? If we have a stone armor and a sun shield and we start the battle off with 300 armor, then we're just never using those vampirics until that armor drains away, and it just doesn't synergize with itself. And so I don't think I'm super interested in trying to go down that route. But let's go ahead and start to make the most out of these things we have here. Now, probably going to be locking this offering bowl for a hot minute. We're going to immediately run out of bag space here. I think we need to take one more roll, and the bag turns up. Nice. Good stuff. So let's see. We can do this the easy way this round. I was hoping we'd be able to upgrade the Shield of Valor, but it's not a immediately super important upgrade to get the shield into the sun shield. Like, we 100% want to do it. It's so good being able to prevent ranged attacks with it, but it's not immediate at this exact moment, and our damage still sucks, right? We're using 0 stamina at this point, and so I think we can just wait around to get that upgrade in. All right, seems like it's going well. Seems like it's going decent. His bag of stones is fairly strong on our heavy armor build here. Oh man, it looks like it's starting to fail. Bummer. I thought we were going to easily take the round down, but didn't happen. Sad noise. Oh shit, what just happened? I thought we were out here purchasing the healing herbs. There we go. There is another dagger up here. It's like I really want this build to be a thing. Well, I don't really want it to be a thing with the hammer and the daggers and even the leather boots to potentially generate empowers for it. It's just, I don't know, it's tough. I don't think that that's really a legitimate build. The thing that I'm kind of considering here is the spear. It's not an item that we want towards the late game, but we can't go into this next round with another dagger only set to where we just don't deal any damage and don't use any stamina. And the spear just guarantees that we get there, right? We have something that we can use, but it's also a very heavy usage of our bag. Like, I think I would like to be putting both of the healing herbs and maybe a dagger within the bag this round. And then also upgrading the Shield of Valor. So it's tough to fit all of this stuff, but I'm afraid that if we roll, then we're just not going to have access to anything to put in the bag this round. So that's fine. I'll pick up the shell. I don't intend to use it, but it's on sale, so we can sell it later. I'm going to take one more roll and look for a bag. We found one here. Good stuff. So let's go ahead and do this. I think we could sell the shell back. I guess we just have to sell the healing herbs back as well, or this bag just doesn't work. So we've got that up and running. Let's see. Start to make something like this happen. And now we can kind of get some usage out of the spear. I don't think we're going to have any open hexes this round. Maybe we land on one. And then I guess I'm okay to go ahead and just activate the bag on this dagger. Start to generate some flames. We do need the bag space. Guess we can live without the shred. Kind of a bummer. It's been very awkward with these bags trying to handle both the leather armor and the shield, but maybe this will be okay. Oops, we're combining the spear. Maybe I am okay with combining the spear. Like, it's not an item that I really want at this point. I would prefer it to just upgrade into like a thorn whip or something, and so let's just sell it. This is something that I find myself doing a little bit with the offering bowl. Like, in the sense of there'll be an item that you don't really want, but you're okay to have it for a round, and then just like offering bowl it off. And so, say like a healing potion is something that I'll commonly do it with. The wooden bucklers or something else is to where, it's not a horrible thing for a round, but you don't really want to roll and you don't really want the item. It works kind of nicely there. But look at this. Look at the hammer just coming right back saying, I want to want to be a part of your day. Just let me be a part of your build. Fine. We're going to do it. We're going to go hammer the rest of the way. If it's going to show up like this twice, it's bound to be fate or something, right? That's the way things work in the world. And so, let's pick up this second dagger. We've got the customer card that we can put within the bowl. Gonna roll and come in and look for a bag. We got 2 turn up. Looks like we can afford the potion bowl at the moment, or the potion belt. Let's come in and get this upgrade happening on the sun shield while we have the space. Need to turn the bag in this fashion to get the hammer in. Not gonna sell it this time. So you're on the team now. You're fighting with us. Let's get these burning coals up and running. Do we want to generate a flame this turn? Like, we can sell off the customer card just to generate a flame. I think I'm on board with that. We will want a few more to keep something up and running with these daggers. Okay, let's go. This is... Oh shit! I think I do want this stamina sack though. Let's go ahead and lock it in. Fucking hammer time! What a world we live in, huh? So what I think we'll end up doing with this hammer is I don't want to be generating multiples of these molten daggers. I want to keep the on-hit effects kind of spread out, and so it's like as we had, say, like a blueberries in the last round, we could have taken the blueberries, looked to have built towards one spectral dagger. I'm fine with that, but I don't want two spectral daggers because they're just going to eat up all of the mana and never really stack. Instead of having like one really good item, we're going to have two mediocre ones. The same thing applies with these molten daggers. I think you typically just burn through too much of the flames to use two of them. I'd prefer it to all be dedicated towards one and making one strong one, and then we can come in and try and stack things like Poison Dagger, try and stack things like Bloody Dagger that just give you bonuses on hit and don't drain any of your abilities. And so we'll see if that's how it plays itself out here. We pick up the stamina sack, pick up the protective purse. I'm still really kind of interested in just converting away, and it's like there's a mana orb here, and I'd almost rather just go for a go for a mana build, but I'll do it for the people. Oh shit, now we've got a dragon. We'll go dragons for the people as well. The people all love a dragon, huh? So let's see. Get this dumbass hammer lined up in here nicely. Like I'm wanting to use the offering bowl this round for at least the wooden buckler. Guess we can. Like, this is kind of the bag usage I'm looking for. Maybe something like this. Okay, I don't think I hate it. And then I do want to take this this ruby egg out here, just switch over into picking up some dragons along the way. And so this is something to where Empowered should be extremely strong if we're going to have a handful of daggers along with a bunch of dragons. Just so many attacks coming in at once, Empowered should be quite good. But we'll see what turns up within the next rounds. We've got a big chain whip coming at us. He's pretty drained on stamina. We're drained out now as well. You're gonna have to look for some big yellow potions if we're gonna keep this hammer this game. All right, nice takedown. And so, yeah, is this the way we want to go? Like I have in my head that you know, I guess if we're gonna be real, I just want to sell off the hammer so bad. Like the way that I realistically want this build to go is we did just luck into a stone skin potion. That's exactly what we want with the leather armor, so we can stone skin and leather armor, get that big armor bonus up and running, and then we definitely just sell off the hammer and then go dragons. And so we could have, say, taken that mana orb from the last round, made a wand, have this big armor set running here, and then the dragons off to the side just out there doing their thing. But if we want to go towards the hammer, it's just so tough to go towards dragon as well, in the sense that the dragons take up so much space, right? We're already taking up so much space with these leather armor sun shield combos. It takes up a bunch of space with the hammer, and then you need a bunch of space for the dragons. I don't think that we can really fit everything in if we want to go for both the dragon and for the hammer. And so it's going to be a bit of a bummer there. Otherwise, these other items don't play into it too nicely, right? In the sense that Cryomancer wants the frozen items. We're just never going to find those. The Friendly Fire wants you to either be in mana builds, or it wants you to be using flame whips. We're kind of far away from that. So it does take us to either the lantern or the burning banner. And so I think that if we're going to come out here and legitimately stick with this hammer build, that we're just going to have to go with the dark lantern and then try and pick up some vampiric stuff. And so at least if we have like a vampiric dagger, we'll be okay with the Ashbringer. Now, it does have a big like non-bow associated with it, right? If we're using the Ashbringer to go to the 50% health, and then we're going to try and vampiric back up, the generation of armor doesn't really combo with it, but I think it might be okay, right? When we talked earlier in the battle about the armor generation with vampiric, that was under the assumption that you were at max health, right? So if you start at max health, gain a bunch of armor, then vampiric doesn't do anything. But if we're starting at half health, gaining back up to max, then that armor doesn't really overlap too much there. So I think that will be okay. We'll just look to make some like bloody daggers along the way. And I think I'm still kind of okay with stone skin potioning this leather armor and making the only attacky weapon we're going to be using is the hammer, and the stamina usage is going to go up, but it's not like we're missing out on too much, I think. And so I think this will still work reasonably well. So I think I do want to unlock the ruby egg. No dragons with us today. Stamina sack definitely coming in. Health potions on sale. We can look to use it for a round. Now we've got a pestilence flask to upgrade the dagger. Definitely want to snatch those up. Also interested in the oil lamp. Not certain how our bag space is working out this round. Let's see. Yeah, definitely want to upgrade the armor. Maybe we do one of these and look to just start getting rid of the piggy banks. So we've got an upgrade on the leather, upgrade on the dagger. Let's just lock in the oil lamp. I still definitely want these. We need scaling to go with these as well, and so always a prime place to find it. All right, looks okay. Guess we can do this, right? At least pick up some of the flames on the dark lantern. Cool. All right, so yeah, I mean, you can see what happens to our health right at the beginning, where we shoot down halfway and have a ton of armor. I think we'll be, kind of okay if we can find ourselves some vampiric generation. So we need some of those blood amulets to turn up here soon. All right, what do we got? Food amulet, not quite it. So yeah, I want the protective purse. I want the oil lamp. I'm not opposed to adding in more stone skin potions. Just it is another similar combo to what we're trying to do, right? You convert health to armor, and then you use that missing health to heal back up with vampiric. I think we just want to search for on sale stuff though, and things that really kind of tie into the weapon combos. It feels like our armor is good for the immediate time, and we need to get kind of picked up on the offensive end of things. So what do we got? A whetstone that we could sell. Definitely want to end up using the bag this round because I don't want the food thing. So let's just get that back in. There is a hungry blade which we just can't really use within this build. It's going to be excuse me, we'll never have the stamina we need to use it. So maybe we just stop here. There is the prismatic orb, which, like, if you're looking to do this from the start, you could probably make it really work, right? We have some dark stuff with the lantern, some holy stuff with the sun shield. We can get some vampiric off of it, but it feels very far away from our build at this point in time. Let's just go ahead and jump into battle. See if we can't get those bowl upgrades to help a little bit. It's very expensive, right? We got to have that 9 gold to get the blood amulets up and running. So I worry about it in that sense. We're also, the other thing that's going to be a pain point here is, we want as many daggers as we can find, and we currently have 2, right? We sold off some daggers and sold some daggers and passed some daggers, and it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get up to a critical mass of them with the way that we played this game out. All right, let's see here. Definitely interested in corrupted crystals. Still want to be hitting those leather helmet items across the game. Pick up the speed bag as well. Ooh, a dagger. Got to be excited about that. Not going to convert it to molten dagger, but definitely need to continue getting additional daggers in the build. Let's rearrange these just a little bit so we can get the hammer and the speed bag. I wasn't watching our stamina. I assume it was probably pretty miserable, but let's see what we can do with that. All right, that looks decent across the board. I don't think we want to put the amulet of energy on the molten dagger. I'm gonna skip past that idea here. Start loading up this offering bowl. Oop, that looks good. Let's put the corrupted crystal on the hammer. Okay. I like where it's going. Again, we have some direction. It's just a matter of finding the items. Guy over here's got himself a hammer build as well. A lot of hot hammer on hammer action. It looks like we got the jump on him here. We haven't used our reincarnate yet. Got him taken down faster. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what do we got here? Not pure garbage, right? I'm not like stoked about fanfare. I don't want to like describe this as being a fanfare build, but any way that we have to generate empowered is an interesting item, right? And so I think we do want to actually hang on to this fanfare and then use it as a way to generate empowereds and then generate manas if we get one of those spectral daggers. Maybe we shouldn't have sold off the health potion so that we could have done better work keeping that dagger around. But here, found the heroic potion. Definitely want it. Fanfare, I guess, is going to be a part of our lives now. That's okay. We can start selling off these shields. I think we'll just do it like this. We're not really losing out on anything selling these. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and pick up the blueberries so that if we do get a health potion, then we can make the mana potion. All right, push the button. What do we got? Oh, the bags of stones with the empowered and the dragon. Aight. How bad could it be? Just got murdered at the beginning. The resurrect comes back and takes it at the end. Okay. Okay, take those bag of stones right down. Beautiful, perfect. There's the big thing that we need. Oh shit, it's just all rolling in, right? We hit the health potion off of the bag, so we could make the mana potion out of it. Then we've got the blood amulet out here as well to make the blood dagger. Just on point with everything that we need. Good stuff. So let's take this little bag. Let's take the blood amulet. I do like these lump of coals. Like I don't know how well it actually hits within a build like this, but getting all of these extra on hits with the molten daggers, or with the just daggers in general, but then the molten daggers wanting the flames to use the on hit ability. I'm on board with that as well, and so seems like it should be a fairly reasonable synergy, you know. All right, let's get in here, upgrade this amulet, turn off the upgrade bag for a minute. Here comes the mana potion. I don't think we want to upgrade the rest of the stuff at this point. And then there is a pestilence flask. Like, I don't think we need it. Like, I have a hard time envisioning that over the course of the remainder of the game, we find 2 daggers, right? We're going to upgrade 1 dagger to the mana dagger with this mana potion that we're about to make. Now, that would be the ideal item to take next, because we don't want another mana a mana drain. We don't want another heat drain, and so poison's just kind of what's left. Otherwise, we have to kind of count on a blood amulet to turn up, but I think we just let it go. Can't be that important, right? All right, up against the big crit build. He'll probably take us down fast. We haven't found any helmets to sustain these early game crits coming at us. Did manage to spike a stun on him, though. Always important. Good stuff. All right, so what's left? I haven't been paying like close enough attention to see how I feel about these fanfares. You know, it seems kind of interesting in what it's capable of doing. We do want a way to generate mana. Generating empowereds is going to be good, but it feels kind of slow. But like, what else are we going to fill out our build with, right? If we're just going to be adding daggers and defensives, then we should have room for these fanfares to come in. I think we'll take it. Not nearly as interested in the flute. We could look to pick up the Goobert this round since it's on sale. Toss it in the offering bag, but we need to find just a regular bag to go here real quick. And so let's snatch that up, and then another dagger turned up. It's fantastic. Right on time. Didn't think we would be able to find any more of these, but look at us. Able to do the big things. I think, do we want to just go ahead and buy it? We could sell the stone, sell the flame, and then pick up the dagger. I think that's fine. I think it's fine. All right. Getting a little bit of everything in here. So yeah, I think we just really need, I mean, we'll take more daggers if they turn up, but I think at this point we really just need a banana for the heroic potion and then some defensives, and we should be in pretty good shape. I was trying to think if we could find a way to. It's like living the dream would be getting the Reaper dragon in here that can stun on its own, but I don't think that's I don't think that's realistic. Good stuff. We got the spectral dagger ready to do its thing. That's great. We'll pick up these stone skin potions and then try and get a little bit better usage out of that dark lantern here. And so, got to take a roll. Interesting stuff here. Like the Wolpentinger is something I was kind of considering in the sense that, if you have enough buffs, it can really help with the continuing the hits on the hammer, continuing the attacks. I don't know how relevant that's going to be, if it's going to be something that it can kind of keep up round after round. But it is on sale. It's a pretty decent deal. I think we'll want to come in and snatch this bag. Ooh, I really wanted to get the cap. I didn't pay enough attention to our mana. We got this stone skin potion, and I didn't pay enough attention to our mana here, or our money here. But this should be okay. We'll take the hat. We'll take the Wolpentinger. Hopefully we don't just lose, right? We have 2 health left, and so I would feel a lot better about making it to the survival rounds if we had this cap of resilience. And so hopefully we'll be able to take one of these rounds down and then continue on a little bit further. All right, getting all pokey in here and stuff. Got to appreciate that. Dude hits Battle Rage. I think we stunned a little bit of that down. Doesn't seem like we're really attacking down his health. He's getting to scale up with his vampirics there. Bit of a bummer. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this now, right? We definitely want the cap out here, and we want to convert it into the cap of resilience. It's like seeing a round like that previous round, being able to cancel out some of those vampirics coming in could have been just what we needed to finish off the round, but a little bit short. But let's see what we can do here. I guess we will pick up the Wolpentinger. I'm kind of fine with adding in the boots, right? This is very likely the last round that we do battle. We need to win this round to hit the survival rounds. If we lose, we're just done. And so adding in something like the leather boots doesn't sound horrible. It's not an item I'm super stoked about, but the kind of interesting thing with boots in a build like this is we'll hit 50% health right at the beginning, so the leather boots will immediately activate, and then we'll get that empowered bonus right from the start. And so it's got some nice synergies with the build, at least here in the beginning. But okay, see if we can make it through the round. We got, looks like a more sustain heavy build here. We might be okay. See his health total creeping down a little bit. Starting to stack up a little bit of those vampirics, something we need to keep our sustain going. Looks like it's kind of falling apart here, though. How's he scaling up his health? That's what the problem here is. He's got 46 heat. He just scaled up huge. Just another round. Like, I don't think this round we could have won if we'd had our cap of resilience just cutting out, or the corrupted cap cutting out all of these buffs. But it certainly wouldn't have hurt, right? Whenever the opponent is at that 15% chance to not get a buff, it would be cutting out roughly 15 buffs from what he has here at the end of the day. And so a bit of a pain point not having that cap of resilience. We purchased that potion belt just a little bit too early. But at the end of the day, not bad. I'm trying to think of how I feel about this build. Like, I'm usually not a big fan of the hammer builds. They tend to be too high rolly for me, in the sense that, like, if you hit and then stun and hit and then stun, you tend to just immediately chunk down your opponent and be in a pretty good space. But if you miss on that 45% chance to stun, then you're really hurting, and your build just isn't that good. These daggers aren't good enough on their own. And so the thing to where I'm kind of curious with this build and its potential longevity is a couple of different things, right? If you look at a build like from the Berserker just has access to brass knuckles, so they have multiple ways to stun, and so it's probably viable there. Otherwise, you can say look towards the Ranger. to where if you want to imagine like very quickly that we have a crit wood ring out here and we get a stun with the hammer with these 4 daggers and then immediately hit with the 4 daggers and they all crit. Like that's just a massive burst of damage that you're able to pop off, and so you have some synergies there. When you move outside of those two classes, it gets a little bit weaker, right? In terms of the Pyromancer, we don't have any real additional synergies with this outside of being able to make all of our daggers on hit centric with these molten charcoals, whatever they're called, burning coals. And then there's not a real ton of synergies with the Reaper. I don't think the Reaper has any other stuns either, and so not a lot there. And so as far as the hammer builds go, the Pyromancer isn't really tuned to be dealing with this, but the kind of secondary point with the hammers in this style of build is we kind of wanted to go hammer build early and then just said fuck this and got rid of it, and then midway through the game we're kind of like, yeah, maybe we'll come back to it. And so I'm curious what our build would have looked like had we just stuck to our guns right from the beginning and not done all this pivoting back and forth. And that's kind of a tough point for me, because one of the things you'll find with these offering plate builds or offering plate games is the hammer is kind of interesting in the sense you're starting with a dagger. You tend to turn it into a molten dagger very early, and you can carry through a lot of the early game into the mid game with just like a short sword upgraded to something, be it a Holy Relic or be it a Hero Blade, whatever it's called. And then if you come into one of these rounds to where there's a hammer, you can just put the hammer into the offering plate and just use it for that one round, right? It's a very strong item for one round, and then it's a very good sell within the plate, especially if you get the hammer on sale, right? If you run into one of these rounds to where you've already got a dagger, you get a 4 gold hammer, and then you just use it for one round and then convert the hammer up into other items. It's very powerful in that sense, but I'm trying to think how this would have felt if we had just gone full build early on, and I'm not entirely certain there. What I think it would be is one of these builds that would carry us to the survival round, right? I feel like we could have certainly gotten to the survival rounds with this and then just wanted to quit. I don't think that this is a style of build that's going to be capable of fighting through to the later game rounds, because you just don't have enough consistent stuns, right? If you have brass knuckles, then fine. If you have the obsidian dragon that starts stunning, if you have 15 flames, then fine. If you have a pumpkin for an additional way to get stuns, then fine. You might be able to push beyond the survival rounds, but I think in the kind of standard games, that's where you're really the best that you're going to be doing and what you're going to be aiming for within your build. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, understanding where your build power spikes to where this build probably power spikes about right here. And then understanding it's not going to get any better, then you're probably better off to just quit at that point. But I like how this has kind of come together. I like the ideal of using the stone armor and then the sun shield and then the dark lantern to tie in with this. I think that there could be a little bit of better synergies in here if we'd found more blood amulets having multiple ways to generate the vampiric, to then have the vampiric be what brings all of our health back, because vampiric is a ability that scales well with all of these daggers, right? Vampiric gains you health based on the amount of damage that you dealt. So if you have 5 vampiric and you deal 10 damage, then you get 5 health back. And so it works really well with all of these different items hitting. And so it doesn't work well with one gigantic item, right? If you have 5 vampiric and hit for 100, you gain 5. And so if you have all of these different weapons, it does tend to work nicely with those. And so I think this is probably the path to go down if you are looking to hammer build with the Pyromancer, but I think I would want to find a pumpkin early, and that be the kind of indicator that maybe it's okay to go down this path. But nonetheless, good stuff. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way, and you had a good time watching. This is Bust and we thank you for being here.